The United States and Russia field two of the most powerful armies in the world. Heavily mechanized and salted with combat veterans, the U.S. Army and Russian ground forces have spent the better part of the last 15 years not only chasing guerrillas from Afghanistan to Syria, but also fighting conventional-style wars in Iraq and Georgia. Now, as tensions between the NATO and Russia place U.S. and Russian ground pounders in the same country or just across the border from one another, the Baltics, the question is, in a head-to-head matchup, which side would prevail? The backbone of U.S. Army infantry is the infantry squad. In light infantry, including air assault, airborne and mountain units, a squad consists of 9 soldiers that further divide into a squad leader and 2 fire teams. Each fire team of 4 soldiers consists of a fire team leader, rifleman, grenadier, and an automatic rifleman equipped with 2 M4 carbines, an M4 carbine equipped with the M320 underbarrel grenade launcher and the M249 squad automatic weapon. Individual soldiers will carry single-shot AT-4 light anti-tank weapons as issued. In mechanized infantry units, the 9-man squad consists of the 2 or 3-man Striker interim combat vehicle or M2 Bradley fighting vehicle crew, plus 6 soldiers that dismount to fight on foot. A mechanized infantry squad can put fewer soldiers on the ground, but it also has the benefit of vastly increased mobility and firepower in the form of the Bradley's 25mm M242 Bushmaster autocannon, TOW anti-tank missiles, and 7.62mm coaxial machine gun. Strikers are currently armed with M2.50 caliber machine guns, but Europe-based units are receiving a new turret upgrade that includes a 30mm cannon or Javelin anti-tank missile. The mechanized dismount team also has its own M4 carbines, a M320 grenade launcher, 1 M249 squad automatic weapon and a Javelin shoulder-fired medium-range anti-tank missile, capable of defeating the heaviest Russian armor at ranges of up to 2,187 yards. Mechanized infantry platoons consist of 3 mechanized squads without additional firepower, although a Striker platoon will have a weapons squad with 2 M240B machine guns. Each platoon has 4 M2s or 4 Strikers. Light infantry platoons consist of 3 infantry squads and add additional firepower via weapons squad. The weapons squad is made up by a squad leader and 9 soldiers armed with 2 M240B machine guns and 2 Javelin anti-tank missiles, and allows the platoon commander, typically a lieutenant, to parcel out this firepower to the squads that will likely need it the most. A new addition to the weapons squad is the 84mm M3 Carl Gustave recoilless rifle, versatile anti-personnel, anti-fortification, and anti-armor weapons system first introduced in 1946. The result, an infantry platoon with 2 anti-personnel and 2 anti-armor weapons, and a 5th weapon that can function as both. The Russian field's motor rifle, mechanized, squads and light infantry equivalent squads in the airborne forces. A typical Russian motor rifle squad will consist of a BMP-23 infantry fighting vehicle or BTR-82A wheeled armored personnel carrier, a 3-man crew, and a 7-man dismount team armed with AK-74M assault rifles, 2 PKM machine guns and a rebounds per game 16 short-range anti-tank weapon. The GP-30 grenade launcher, the Russian equivalent of the M320, is fitted to some AK-74MS. The PKP Pekinek will eventually replace the PKM, but for now the Russian army has plenty of the older weapons. The Russian motor rifle squad is nearly identical to the U.S. Army mechanized infantry squad, except it does not have a medium-range anti-tank guided missile launcher in the same category as the Javelin. Just like in American squads, single-shot, disposable rebounds per game 18 light anti-tank weapons are issued as needed. Russian airborne infantry squads are similar to motor rifle squads, built around a -3 Bermudian dollars, -4 Bermudian dollars, BTRD airborne armored vehicles. Airborne squads are smaller owing to the smaller personnel carrying capacity of BMD and BTRD vehicles. Despite having fewer troops, Russian airborne forces are much more mobile than their American counterparts. The -3 Bermudian dollars, which has a 30mm autocannon, and -4 Bermudian dollars, which has a 30mm autocannon and 100mm cannon, are both armed with the Concourse anti-tank missile system. At the platoon level, Russian motor rifle forces add no additional firepower except for a single designated marksman armed with a SVD rifle, nor does it add additional vehicles. A motor rifle or airborne platoon of 3 squads consists of 3 vehicles plus dismounts. Russian infantry have some advantages over their American counterparts. 3 vehicle platoons means the Russian ground forces, man for man and vehicle for vehicle, can field 25% more platoons than the U.S. Army. Theoretically, this gives a commander more tactical options on the battlefield. Russian airborne forces, owing to their mechanization, have much greater tactical mobility than foot-mobile American paratroopers. Moscow's parachutists can also airdrop farther from their objectives, making their way to them in their vehicles, helping keep vulnerable air transports loaded with soldiers at a distance from lethal enemy air defenses. Still, U.S. Army infantry have a decisive edge over their Russian counterparts. One reason is organizational resiliency. If a Russian platoon loses a vehicle, it loses one-third of its combat power. If an American platoon loses a vehicle, it only loses a quarter of its firepower. A Russian platoon that loses 2 vehicles is reduced to a single vehicle. U.S. mechanized vehicles are also superior to their Russian counterparts. While both the Bradley and the BMP can carry 7 soldiers, mount a 25 to 30 mm autocannon and are armed with anti-tank missiles, the Bradley is better armored, has a digital battle management system, and carries twice as many anti-tank missiles ready to fire. The BMP is inferior in all respects. The American Stryker and Russian BTR-82A wheeled armored vehicles, on the other hand, are roughly the same. Both are set to receive updates, the Stryker with a 30 mm autocannon or Javelin turret and the BTR-82A turret with a 57 mm gun. Dismounted firepower is where U.S. forces truly shine. Against armored threats, an American platoon can bring 3 Javelin missiles, a M3 recoilless rifle, and numerous AT-4 short-range anti-tank rockets to bear against enemy armor, engaging enemies at ranges of up to 2,000 yards. Their Russian comrades in arms could bring only unguided rebounds per game 16 and rebounds per game 18 rockets against enemies at a maximum effective range of about 300 yards. Against infantry, American forces bring 6 light and 2 medium machine guns and a M3 recoilless rifle to bear, versus 3 medium machine guns and a SVD-designated marksman rifle for the Russians. American and Russian infantry would never fight alone. Both would fight as part of an integrated team with armor, mortars, heavy artillery, air support, and electronic warfare all contributing to win the battle. Still, in a matchup between American and Russian infantry forces, American forces have a decisive advantage in firepower. Let's hope the two sides never do meet.